Most people start their day by reacting to the world, but the wealthy start by reprogramming it. If you want to reach unlimited abundance, it's not about grinding harder. It's about tuning your frequency before the day even begins. Do you understand how to get on the frequency of the day? What is the very first thing you do when you wake up? Are you opening your eyes and reaching for your cell phone instantaneously? Are you going straight to the social media feeds and trying to find out what's going on and what you might have missed? What happens when you do that? Well, if you go to your popular page on your account, on whatever social media feeds that you're a part of, it'll tell you what you're going to see first thing in the morning. And most of the time, you're going to see something foolish, right? Even if you're a person that's diligently working on consciousness and uplifting yourself and working to help, be the light and everything else, those feeds and algorithms know how to try to hook you subconsciously. So you might not get that first thing that's motivational, inspirational. You might get some garbage. You might get some absolute trash, something to completely distract you and spike your cortisol first thing in the morning. So you want to be very careful, and you want to be also very diligent on what you're doing and what you're looking at, what you're reading, what you're taking in. You have to develop a very good morning ritual. You have to take charge of your mind and take charge of your day. Because if you don't do that, they will do it for you. I guarantee it. Their ultimate goal, and they meaning the people behind the scenes that run the world, their ultimate goal is to not allow you to create the day that you want. They want to manifest and create the day that they want to see you operate in. And why is that? Because when they control you, they monetize you. If they can control your every reaction, your every fear, they can easily manipulate you, they can guide you, they can target market you, they can even predict your next move. And every time they make a prediction and you move in that particular direction, they are right there waiting and baiting to get you to buy, get you to succumb, get you to believe in whatever system or whatever things that they want you to do. They are masters at this. It's called applied neuroscience. It's an actual class you could take at a university. I took a very similar class at MIT back in 2000, I believe it was 19. And my professor was Dr. Tara Swart. And yes, it was a class that you had to go to in person. It wasn't an online course. And I'm glad that I took that class because it opened my eyes to see something that I would have never fully realized. I kind of understood it a little bit, but I didn't get the full confirmation until I went there. I learned directly from an MIT professor, a real PhD neuroscientist, that they are trying their best to reprogram us on a moment-by-moment basis at every turn. So understanding this means when you wake up, don't grab your device right away. The first thing you need to do when you wake up is be grateful and be thankful. Why? Because you actually woke up. So just lay there for a second, right? Gradually open your eyes and just say to yourself, I'm so grateful for another day. I'm so thankful to be able to live another day. I'm so grateful to be able to wake up and fulfill my mission and fulfill my passion on this planet. So right away, you're waking up with your frequency, the one you're generating, the high frequency, high vibration that you can control, versus grabbing a device and taking a look at it or turning the TV on to the news and seeing something that's going to be detrimental to your day. So the first thing that you're doing is setting up your day. You have to set your day up for success. This is really important to understand, because if you don't set your day up for success, there's already going to be things that you can't predict that are going to happen. But if you're in the right frequency, those things will bounce off of you, right? Like water running off of a duck's feather. But if you're not set up for the day, those things can really deeply impact you in a negative way. When you wake up, your brain is in a theta state. And that's the same frequency where your subconscious is really most open to instructions. So at that beginning of the awakening state, if you're able to begin to take in and focus on things that are positive, that are inspirational, that are self-reflecting, that are healing, high vibrational, then your theta waves are going to absorb that and then enact that, push that into the subconscious. And now you're going to be operating on a very good high vibration. Okay. And so this is important to understand because, again, their mission is to get you in at that state of mind. It's where as soon as you wake up, they're feeding you what they want into that theta state and then programming your subconscious in the way that they would like to see you move. So if you don't like to be a puppet in someone else's theater, then you'll listen to what I'm saying and you will take control of your life. You will take control of your morning when you wake. You will be able to take control of your day. Don't allow them to pull the strings on you because they will have you reacting. They will have you angry, frustrated, fearful, and everything else you could think of versus you being able to control the frequency and energy that you want to be in. Most people literally just waste their time scrolling. And when you're scrolling and reacting, all you're doing is leaking. You're leaking energy, okay? And how is that working? Well, the second that you hop on the device and you see something that triggers you, that now creates an emotional response. That emotional response now is a form of a hormone. And that thought wave pattern leaks out of your brain, which every thought does, but it leaks out in a very low frequency and low vibration. It's in a state of despair, anger, frustration, those low frequencies. The universe is going to hold up a mirror and reflect that back at you. So you can wake up and get triggered by something you saw on a device right away. And now the rest of your day is just going down the tubes and you can't figure out why all these things are coming at you left and right. It could be because of the way you set your morning up. Okay? Just hopping up and just endless scrolling. And then again, if you hop up and right away look to your comments on something you posted the day before and you see some negative comments, that's also not good for you. Because those negative comments are designed to steal and rob you of your energy. So what happens is you make a post, right? You go, okay, this is a great post for the evening. I lay down, I go to sleep. I wake up, I open my device, I see a notification, I tap on that, I see a negative comment on what I posted, and I'm going, how could this person make a statement to me like this? How dare they talk to me like this? And then you reply to their comment. What happens is when you open that device and a photon pings off the device, hits your retina, goes to the back of the brain, creates that emotion once you decipher the information, which is negative, you then send out new energy back towards the device as you're putting and typing back in a reply. Once you do that, that energy you're putting back in is your conscious thought riding on to a microwave frequency up to the cell phone tower, up into space, down to the location where that person's located, hitting their tower and riding a microwave frequency directly to their device. They get a notification that you've responded. Now, their notification doesn't trigger the same emotional response you're getting. You're getting a negative response notification. When you see that notification, you're reacting negatively. Your cortisol is spiking. When they see your response back, before they even read it, they're getting joy. They're getting excitement. So now they've alchemically converted your actual real energy. When they open their device and that photon pings to their retina, goes to the back of their brain, and they decipher the information you text them, they get a certain level of joy, emotion, happiness. They're like, I got him. I got her. And so these are energy vampires. You have to be aware of that. They're out there lurking 24 hours, 7 days a week, looking to steal and rob you of your energy. They actually thrive off of that. So instead of, doing that, you want to do things like wake up with intentional breathing, right? After you give your gratitude and your thankfulness, start taking deep breaths. Take 15, 20 really good breaths. Get your brain, heart in coherence and alignment for the day. Say your affirmations. The first thing I do after I do that is I start speaking my affirmations. And one of the things that I did was I created the song called Affirmations by Forbidden Knowledge. And, the reason why I created it in a music format, I created that music because, you now remember what I'm saying, because anytime you put words to music, it makes it easier to remember. So I literally just regurgitate or say my song over and over again. I just speak it out loud, even if the music isn't on, because I've got it memorized, right? So I'm doing my affirmations. My next procedure is actually to go and get in the shower, and I do a meditation. Now, in the shower, I do a meditation where I envision that this incredible water, this healing energy water, is coming to wash away all the darkness out of me. So I envision any negativity, any stress from the previous day, anything that I'm remembering that's hurtful, anything that's giving me PTSD. I imagine it rising to the top of my skin and the water just washing it down the drain. And after doing that for a few minutes, then I envision myself now just going into a meditation and envisioning this water just being blessed. And I'm blessing the water as it's running over my body. And we all know from the Dr. Masaru Emoto experiments with water that when you bless the water, it really takes on a phenomenal crystallization. So I envision that water not only being blessed and running over my body, but the water inside of my body is also being blessed by the same blessings that I'm giving out, because our bodies are 70% water. So I know that I'm crystallizing myself, which is taking me into this crystallized consciousness. And so I'm really happy about that. When I get out from there, I feel really, really good. All right. The next thing is to go and, sit down and do a little bit of journaling. Sometimes just writing down my dreams, trying to figure out if I had a dream, what it was about, what it connects to, trying to just understand and feel that out. And then, of course, doing my affirmations, my journaling. Now, within the journaling, it's not just about writing everything down like a parrot. It's also about trying to understand what happened, trying to understand the day, trying to understand, why and what these things are connecting to. Anyone can just write down information, but are you really trying to decipher it? Are you really trying to break it down? Are you meditating on the information and realizing, Are you also getting some epiphany moments going, oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. Let me put that in here now. And then when you begin to look at it, and then you can go back over different days, you can begin to see a track record with yourself. And that track record is going to allow you to figure out what might be going on with you, where you're headed, where you might be missing something, where you might be making poor decisions, where you may be getting too reactive, where you might be straying away from your incredible rituals like we're talking about right now in the morning, all of those things. And another thing I do, if I have time, because I really wake up early, I like to go out and go for a walk. That walk is something amazing. I call it a walking meditation. And if I'm at the beach, I'll do a 5-mile walking meditation, or sometimes only 4, depending on the day and depending on the weather, but also my time. But 4 or 5 miles on average. If I'm not at the beach, I'm just in my neighborhood, I may walk about 2.5 miles. But the power of the walking meditation is so incredible. I get out early, which means there's hardly any cars on the road, and I'm walking on sidewalks where I'm at, but sometimes people will have cars, but I don't like to hear too many cars whizzing by, even when I'm walking on a sidewalk. And I'm hyper-focusing on some things that I want to change in my life, things I want to manifest, goals, benchmarks, relationships, and all these different things. And while I'm walking, you have to realize that as you move your left foot forward, you activate the right hemisphere. As you move your right foot forward, you activate the left hemisphere. So you're getting this left hemisphere, right hemisphere synchronization. It's called the hemisync. And as you're doing this, you are creating this hemisync frequency, which has been studied and researched by the CIA. They spent millions of dollars researching this and came up with a declassified document stating that it actually works. And so I listen to binaural beats while I'm walking, because binaural beats combined with the hemisync technique is known scientifically and based on millions of dollars of research to help you hyper-focus and activate manifestations. So that's what I actually do. I don't reinvent the wheel. I'm doing things that people investigated and researched and spent millions of dollars to do. So it's well known. It's not woo-woo. It's not something I just fabricated. It's actually a real thing. And I was doing that for so many years, initially without the binaural beats. I didn't know about that until probably maybe 7 years ago. But the first probably, I would say 10 years, I was doing that. I was going for these meditation walks, not knowing that the reason why I was getting such good results was because I was basically doing really almost like 90% of the Hemi-Sync meditation without even knowing it. Once I learned about it, I was like, oh my goodness, this is incredible. Then I added the binaural beats and tweaked it a little bit. But it's great for you to get out for a walk. It's going to balance out your glucose. It's going to balance out your respiratory system. It's going to move your lymph and allow your lymph to pump and move waste through the body and process it out of the body. It's going to allow your sweat glands to activate. If you're in the right place and you can get some sweat going, that would be great. A little bit of detox. It's going to do so many great and healthy things for your body. It's great for your skin. And walking briskly for 15 minutes is the same thing as doing 1,000 sit-ups. Walking as fast as you can for 15 minutes is equivalent to 1,000 sit-ups. Would you rather do 1,000 sit-ups or walk as fast as you can for 15 minutes? Right? So these are things that I do in the morning, and these things really enhance my day. I really feel like most days I get up to a great start. And there's one last thing that I do. I will go, which is right behind this camera, on the wall there, I have a huge board. And this board allows me to pin up my dreams. So that's my dream board. All right. And it's a cork board with all my stuff on it. And I go and I stand in front of it. I just stand in front of it for about maybe 2-3 minutes, looking at each individual thing that I have on the dream board, right? Is this dream board still serving my higher purpose? Are some of the things on here, do they need to be changed or altered? And from time to time, I'll take things off and put something else up. Because the dream board is not static, it's dynamic. It's a dynamic function. So things change and evolve, and sometimes you reach goals or sometimes you pivot into something else. So you have to reevaluate the dream board. Don't leave a static dream board up there for 10 years and say that all these things are, something's wrong with that. Go there and evaluate it. So I evaluate it from time to time, and I will remove things and replace other things, or update things, or change the level of things, So the dream board analyzing is very important. And also just standing there and taking a look at it. Now I can always see it, like it's always in my view, right? It's right here for me. But at the same time, standing right up on it and taking a good look at it, and then meditating a little bit on each of the things and seeing how close am I to some of these things, and what will I need to do to make sure that these things happen, right? It's just so important. It also reminds me of my purpose. It reminds me of my mission, and that's a huge part of why you have a dream board. It's a consistent and persistent reminder. And so all these things are important for waking up, being very intentional. When you begin the morning as the author of your reality, not a character in someone else's story, then you align with the frequency of your full and total potential. And all these things that I'm talking about right now, if you act on them and do them, you will get off to a fantastic and a great start for your day. It doesn't mean you're going to have the perfect day. I would be lying to you if I told you that your day is going to be perfect every time you do this. But what it will do, it will set you up for success. And when situations and things come your way, when hurdles come your way, when people blindside you or things blindside you, you won't be as reactive. You'll be able to see them as just situations that need a solution versus situations that have come to destroy you and take you down. Okay, you won't react as harshly. You won't get a spike in your cortisol. You won't get emotionally attached too much. You won't get too anxious and nervous. You won't get too angry. You'll simply say, okay, well, how do we work through this? How do we go ahead and let me brainstorm this situation so we can get through this and move on? That's the energy you'll be in, which is a very productive energy. Again, so this is why we built the Forbidden Knowledge Academy. It's to learn lessons like this, but even on a much deeper level, even on a much more consistent level. There are private teachings inside the academy that you'll never see from me on YouTube, on Forbidden Knowledge TV, on Gaia, on Netflix, on Amazon, on any of these other channels that I've been on. These specific teachings are only exclusively for the Forbidden Knowledge Academy. And so I would love to be your mentor in the Forbidden Knowledge Academy. along with my coaching team and over 1,200 incredible leaders in there to help hold you accountable, to help guide you, show you the way, and to make brand new, incredible friends, lifelong friends, people that are on the same frequency and vibe that you're on. So find your vibe, you find your tribe. And the tribe is inside the academy. They are all over the world, but because we're connected in this one incredible community, you now have people you can rely on, that you can talk to, that you can express your feelings to, and that you can literally talk about anything to, because they are not people that are going to judge you and push you aside and treat you like you're a tinfoil hat person. They are people all on the same mission as you, which is hard to find where you locally are. That's why the Academy exists. So I want you to click the link in my bio or click the link in the caption of this video or this audio and join the Forbidden Knowledge Academy ASAP. And I believe once you join this academy, you're going to see what I'm talking about. Over 100 hours of incredible teachings in there, incredible exercises and functions that you'll have to execute, and consistent learning with live video feeds, live mentoring on Tuesday nights, and sometimes, again, Q&As on Saturdays, depending on the month. And we bring on billionaires and millionaires to help mentor as well, so you can get the multi-billionaire and multi-millionaire mindset directly from the source. All right? So make sure you click the link and join the Forbidden Knowledge Academy ASAP.